Guys, I am like really excited to talk about tonight, like just things that have been in my heart, things that I've been sitting back and like really reflecting within myself. Just a lot of different things. And me and Lindsay were talking about because we always like to get together on the weekend and at least like discuss what we want to talk about, on Mondays. It's something that I look forward to literally every week. Is starting our week off strong and starting our week off intentional and starting our week off with the right mindset. And so me and Lindsay were talking about just like the perspective of how we can go into business from the beginning of the month, the middle of the month, the end of the month. And like also the perspective of what you're working towards right now around your business. And there's been different conversations with different leaders on my team that I noticed like they'll be asking me as a leader, how do you handle this when you have girls that are looking at business like this? And what I mean by that is I've had people that like focus on their trackers restarting at the beginning of the month and already starting in that mindset. Or I have people that have a perspective of like, oh, there's only 5 days left in the month or whatnot. I can't do math right now, you guys. A week, let's just do a week. We'll just do that. A week left of the month. And so instead of pushing harder, a lot of you guys let up even like you guys, oh, it doesn't matter if I'm not showing up right now. I'm probably not going to X, Y, and Z. And I want to talk about mindset. This is my thing. This is something that I've really, you guys, from like the summer months till now, I feel like I've been in this really huge growth spurt of like really getting to real like my nitty gritty things, like stepping up as that 200K leader, leading from the front and not dragging, making sure that I'm inspiring and leading the way that I would want to lead, and making sure that I'm not allowing things that don't align, but also making sure that I'm feeding my mindset before I try to feed any of your guys's. And when it comes to business and what you attract and what your consistency looks like and what your mindset looks like, I'm so big on what you feed yourself. I'm not saying you have to get up and be positive Polly from the first 5 seconds you wake up. That's not realistic. But what you do within the first hour of your day really sets the tone for how your mindset and how your thoughts are going to work towards your priorities. If your business is not a priority right now, you're not going to give energy of passion to it. You have to have passion in order to have growth, in order to have consistency, in order to have showing up to go up. And a lot of the times I hear lack mindset, focusing on the lack of results, the lack of what's happening fast enough, the comparison of your guys's other people that maybe are doing something different and they're whatever, looking to the left or the right. And if that is the mindset that you're feeding, it's going to magnify. The more you look at something, the more it's going to grow. So if you're constantly looking at all the things that you shouldn't be even paying attention instead of what you're doing and bringing to the table, then you're going to always be focusing on the lack. And then you wonder why your business isn't growing, because you're not consistently showing up for yourself within your mind. I want to talk about that part because I never got that. I didn't show up to trainings every few weeks when I first, like the first 6 months. Probably, guys, I wasn't always on the Monday trainings well, we didn't have Monday trainings. The Sundays and Wednesday trainings, I wasn't always on them, or I had an excuse for justifying why I wasn't consistently doing them. Or I was like, I'll just catch the replay. I'll just, whatever. But you're not staying close to the fire then. Like, this is one of my favorite freaking sayings to end this year the way that my family deserves. I don't know what your family deserves, but my family deserves more. So for me, that's leaning into the fire. That is staying close to my accountability, holding myself accountable and working out of grace, but also showing up in all areas. I took a day to myself, and I'm not saying you can't be off of your phone, and that's not how I want you to work your business, because I had to also reflect lately. I'm a workaholic, and I love it. But I also need to be okay with putting my phone down too and being like, you know what, it's time to fill my cup. So Saturday, that's what I did. But a lot of you guys have to fill your cup way too often where you're not being consistent. Honestly. Because I hear so much of what's going wrong all the time versus what you're doing to find what's going right. Where there is struggle or there's trenches or where there's opportunity of uncomfortableness or growth or whatever your season you're in, that's the blessing you got to look for, because there is always going to be an opportunity to turn it in to power to fuel your business. Every obstacle I've gone through over the last 6 months in my life has motivated me more than my excuses ever would. It fuels my freaking fire, because I can be crying behind the scenes having one of the hardest effing days of my life in this business, because that's part of success. If you're avoiding failure, you're avoiding success. Can I repeat that for you? If you're avoiding failure, you're avoiding success. So if you're not showing up and failing your way forward, if you're not doing the work that it takes, if you're not feeding your mind the way that your mind deserves to be fed, you can't get mad at what you're not giving 100% effort to. You can't, and this is the other thing I want to talk about. I'm going to be a little scatterbrained just because I feel like I really took this weekend. I was telling Lindsay I unplugged Saturday, but I really took this weekend to sit back and watch what my team, how they lead in the chat, who's stepping up as leadership, who's conversing and asking questions, who's reaching out for three-way chats, who's showing up in their stories and in their timeline. I sat back and kind of looked, and you know what? The one thing I noticed is I see a lot of 9-to-5 work ethics still. This is a business. This is a business that you work in the nooks and the crannies of your day. And a lot of times I see that we overcomplicate it so much more than what it needs to be. It's not hard. You're just making it hard. You're telling yourself within your mindset, it's hard. I don't know what to post. So then guess what? You don't show up consistently, or you don't do the things that you need to do to grow your business. And then you justify it. If I went to your profile right now, would I see who you are as a person besides Lavelle? Would I see quality pictures? Would I see captions that are coming from the heart and digging deep? Would I see who you are and what you represent besides just being a mom or a student or whatever that may be? Because that's not just who you are. That's who you became. That's like part of your path, but that's not the only thing of what makes you you. So I want to see your brand. And so when people come to me and they're like, well, I only have a week left, I don't think I could, there's the problem. You're counting yourself out and not even putting your gas on the pedal. And like, that's something that will be like discussed on Wednesday. And I think everyone needs to really focus on, how do you want to set the tone for the next few weeks of 2019? Are you guys like, and I want to like, maybe you guys can put them in the comments. I'm not going to really look, but I really want you to drop your why. Are you like Lindsay? And this is something she helped me connect with, is digging into my why on a daily. Like, I have my big why, of course. I have my why that fuels my life and where I'm going and where I don't stop. But what is the why of my day? What's making me show up passionately for today? Because I don't give a shit if you posted opportunity stories yesterday or the day before, or you posted on your timeline one time this week, and that's great. What you do on a daily has nothing to do with the day before or the day after. How you show up for this day is what compounds your business to get the results of growth and success, because it's about failing forward. But if you, let's say, showed up and then you took a week off, or you took a day off, or you took a month off, that's fine, and it's a part of your path. But I want you to sit back and reflect, what results are you getting from that? Because I'm not here to fuel the patterns that don't grow you. I'm here to fuel the patterns that are going to give you the results that you guys deserve. And honestly, you guys, it takes being so freaking real with yourself and calling yourself out on your BS and calling yourself out and catching the mindset. People are like, well, how do you have a strong mindset? I don't always, you guys. I'm not perfect and positive Polly and whatever. Like, I have my moments. but I don't allow the emotions to predict my actions. I don't follow the emotion. I check myself and say, this is emotions and this is reality. This is my truths. This is the lies. Where's my action going to go? It's going to go towards my mindset of my truths, not my old patterns in my past. So if I'm constantly focusing on what's not happening and constantly getting in my way and not showing up consistently and constantly like justifying why I'm not posting or why I'm not doing my income producing activities or why I'm not in my self-development every single day or when I'm having a negative mindset, then guess what you're feeding? You're feeding your past, you're feeding your patterns, you're feeding your lack. Because at the end of the day, it's an opportunity to find the blessing when you are going through something. Life is always happening for you, not against you. And that is what it comes down to. I don't know how to help people. I help them sometimes. It breaks my heart. And this is just being real. I get messages daily. See the word choices you're using over your business in your life right now? Do you see the actions that aren't happening because of the word choices and the thoughts that you're using? Because there's the problem. We all are the freaking solution, you guys. We all hold the key and we are no different than each other. The only thing that makes me different than one of you is that I put forth 200% every single day. And there is days, but I choose to keep going. The people that don't are the ones that fall off and quit. You got to realize it's not about being perfect. It's about being messy, hot mess express, being vulnerable, digging deep, being you, being real, and being raw. You know, I talked about my addiction recently, and that's something I haven't done in a very, very long time. And it was not fun because I don't like associating myself with that. Honestly, it's something that, like, if you do addict, like, I just don't even talk about that because that's not the woman I am any longer. But I know that people are struggling, and I did it because I wanted to show my girls that I had had a conversation with how to be vulnerable and still be okay in confidence. Because I have girls that are saying, well, I don't know how to post on a daily because I don't know how to be vulnerable. And I don't know how to like talk about some things because it's not perfect. Girl, I'm not perfect either. It's about literally, you think I want to talk about me being a crazy 20-year-old and 19-year-old and doing drugs? No. But I know that someone has gone through that. And I know I'm not alone. And I know that there's a mom out there that's trying to provide for their family for Christmas that has literally been in my exact shoes. I'm going to freaking own it. As much as I don't want to. As much as I want to hide in a corner and not talk about my struggles or my problems. And I want to always appear tough. Because that's my shell that I use as a security blanket. But you got to realize your security blankets that you're allowing, complaining about your parents, complaining about your family, talking about how your business isn't doing anything, not showing up, justifying why you're not showing up because you have life. I worked 13-hour days when I first started this business for 6 months, and I was a 12K leader. Well, where there is a will, there is a way. I don't want to hear your excuse of I don't have time. No, that is a justification for your old patterns because of your mindset. You got to realize what you're feeding. What are you feeding? Are you constantly feeding your freaking lion or are you constantly feeding your gazelle? And I'm going to use an Eric Thomas reference because he's my jam when I need to pick myself up. But a lion wakes up every single morning with the intention to hunt. Because if it does not hunt, it does not eat. A gazelle wakes up with the intention to run because if it does not run, it does not live. And it is the prey because of the mindset of a gazelle is to survive. Where a mindset of a lion is to thrive. You got to realize which are you? Because I know what I am. My actions, my business, my mindset, regardless if I have hard moments, will always speak for itself because this is my passion. You all on here were a life that was touched because of one of us. Okay? And the thing about it is that is why I do what I do. So if you're focusing selfishly on you and your business and what's not happening, that is why your business is not growing. You're not focusing on others. You're not digging deep enough. You're focused on the dollar signs. And those dollar signs, baby girl, will not show up until you show up as the woman that you are supposed to be. And I'm being honest because this is what I had to be honest with myself. I have to, in order for me, if I want to be making $500,000 next year, let's just say that's my goal. How does that look like? What type of woman do I need to be? You want to know why? One of my biggest reasons I want to be able to make that income and why I will be making that income in 2020 is because I want to go on mission trips. I want to give back to people. I want to go and like help and volunteer and give back to people that like what the leadership is doing right now for being able to pay a mortgage, what Lindsay did for a family for Thanksgiving. Like that is what my heart is called for. And I get not everyone is at the beginning. I get it. I was focused on the dollar sign. I get it. We all are at the end of the day, we love the dollar sign. But I need you to start understanding the dollar sign is an opportunity to be able to give back. The more that you step up into the person that you're supposed to, the more you're going to have that abundance come to you. And all that money is going to come to you that you deserve because guess what? You are that person inside. So then by that opportunity, you can give back however you want to. You can do whatever you want with that when you start leveling up to that person inside. People want to know why their businesses go like this sometimes. And this is just me being honest. Is because I'm not doing the work every single day with certain things sometimes. Maybe it's my mindset. Maybe I'm not doing self-development as long as I should. Instead, I'm trying to pour into everyone else when my cup's not full all the way. You know, you have to look at what perspective you're feeding on a daily. You know, my job is to always lead from the front, but I can't always be the one picking you up. You have to learn how to pick yourself up. You have to, you know, leadership is leading from the front, setting that example so that you guys know how to follow and step into that leadership that you already are. Like every single one of you has a voice. Every single one of you has a calling on your life. Every single one of you literally has something so deep inside that you need to talk about because you never know who you're going to touch. Like there's girls on here that never had talked to me before in their life and saw a live that I did and said, I need to be a part of this. And I'm not saying it's going to be that easy. I get that. But it's not going to not be that hard if you are thinking that it's going to be that hard. You got to realize what you think is what you get. So if you're thinking this business is hard, guess how your business probably looks? Hard, exhausting, uncomfortable, not fun, not something you want to put effort and priority into. Because of your mind, because of what you're telling yourself. And guess where your actions are? Non-existent. But you want to know what I wake up every single day before I even was in my, like, whatever, if you like, well, you're an 80K leader, that's cool. You can say this so easily. No, girl. When I was a 4K leader, when I was using my mortgage money to start and borrowing and putting myself further in debt because I needed some change, I still believed in change within my future because of who I am. You got to believe in yourself enough to freaking go for it. It's not like, I don't care what I put myself behind, I will be successful because of me. But the thing about this comp plan, the thing about this business, the thing about this product look, I just choked on my spit. The thing about this product line and this thing is like, you got to realize what we are behind cannot be compared to in any industry in this like MLMs. Our product line is gold. It speaks for itself. And if you're having trouble relaying that confidence, it's because you're not believing it all the way in your mindset. Okay? If you're having trouble believing in yourself making business or making money in this industry because you're only making, let's say, $10 a week, let's just use that as an example. Guess what? That's because of your mindset. Your $10 is a reflection of the lives you're changing. And if you're so focused on changing only your pocket, that's why your checks look like that.
But not only that, Britt, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you.
No, you're good.
If you're only earning $10 a week and that, I remember I've been in this industry for 6 years. And when I first started out, my first paycheck was $21.27 for a month, not weekly, because again, I was within my previous gig that was monthly. So for a month, if I would have looked at that and had the mindset of, this is all that I got. What do you mean this is all that I got? Like, I put in all this work at the time of that I thought was a lot of work, like before I started doing IPAs and all that stuff. But if I would have looked at it as, this is all I got, I wouldn't be here where I am today. Instead, I looked at it as, wow, that was $21.27 more than I would have had if I had not have done this. Sorry, squirrel brain. I was reading comments. If I would have like just left. There's one more month in this year, in this decade. We have a week left in this month. So what I want to ask each of you is, are you happy with how your month is? Are you looking at your tracker? Are you looking at your monthly, your weekly pay or whatever, and are you happy? Is it what you think you deserve? And if it isn't, go earn what you deserve. Nobody is in your way. There's not a single person that is stopping you from doing what you need to do. I had somebody ask me today and they said, I haven't had any orders yet. What am I doing wrong? So I said, okay, tell me what you're doing right. In your eyes, tell me what you're doing. They couldn't tell me besides posting on their story the 3 steps, which is great, but they couldn't tell me besides that what they do every single day consistently. If you want a raise, if you want a higher rank, if you want anything, look in the mirror and tell yourself that that's what you want and that's what you're going to earn. I made a post today on my social media and it said that in this business, which is very accurate, 1 in every 10 people will last longer than 60 days really working and giving it their all. 9 people are going to quit. Are you going to be a part of the 1? Or are you going to be a part of the 9? Which one is more important to you? Are you in your future and growing it? Is that what you're here for? Or are you just here to buy products and just use them? And if you are, then that is fine and that is great. And those are your goals. And I will never, ever tell somebody that their goals are small, ever. But if your goals are to do more with this, then why aren't you doing more? It doesn't happen. It isn't handed to anybody. Again, I've been in this for almost 6 years. And it took me all of 6 years. If I would have given up 6 years ago, last month, Rob and I wouldn't have earned a $220,000 bonus. This month, we wouldn't be well on track to earn another $200,000 bonus. Y'all, there's one more month left, full month left in this year with 31 days. So it's a longer month, 5 weeks in the month. What are you going to do with it? If you have a goal to earn a rank or a bonus or just your products for free or whatever your goal is for your business, start today and don't let off the gas. And this is kind of why Britt is taking over this Zoom also, is because I'm doing the Wednesday Zoom. And this has a lot to do with what I'm going to talk about Wednesday, but don't let off the gas. Holiday season is the time where most people die off and they ghost, and I talked about this on the IPA this morning, is they ghost their own business. Don't ghost yourself. What you do now is going to be the efforts that are shown and the momentum that continues on through next month, through January. You're going to start 2020 with the momentum that you're creating today, with the momentum that you're creating through this holiday season. So, of course, we want financial freedom and time freedom and to not be on our phones 24/7. But guess what? You don't have to be on your phone 24/7 to still work your business every day. This morning, which I still have to upload, and I will, the IPA Zoom that I did everything in 5-minute blocks. You can do during this holiday season when family is there and you're busy or you're cooking or you're working or whatever it is that you're doing, you can do things in 5 minutes at a time throughout your day and get, even if it's just 1 round of IPAs, that 1 round is better than no rounds. And again, I use rounds because hi, old nurse over here, but that's what I call it. So if you think about it, would you rather do one thing for your business or nothing and then December 31st roll around and you're like, shoot, okay, I'm ready. Like, let's hit this. I'm going to run and I'm going to do 2020. It's my New Year's resolution, is my business, this, that, or the other. Do you know how many people, and I'm going to relate it to the gym, how many people start their gym in January of the beginning of the year? Do not allow your business to be like the gym where you start it and then a couple weeks go by and it's super busy and it's super great. And then like February 1st hits and like nobody's at the gym and you're like, wow, I have front parking again. Like, this is great. Do not allow your business to be like the gym. Do not allow it to be a fad. Do not allow it to let off the gas. When you are on the gas during this season right now of the holidays and you're showing up when you don't want to, that's the most important time to show up. When you're showing up and all you want to do is not be there, this momentum and what you're doing right now is going to collectively build you through for the new year. It's going to collectively build you. There are $4,000, $12,000, $40,000, $80,000, and $200,000 up for grabs. If you have not yet claimed one and you have not yet earned one, what's stopping you? Don't allow it to be that there's a holiday season. This season should push you to want it harder. This season should push you to want it 10 times harder. If you had to put the holidays on credit cards, if you had to, like, I don't believe in going into debt to ever buy anybody a present. That's just nothing that I've ever believed in. But if you are going into debt to pay for the holidays, how amazing would it be that your first check or your first bonus check of January, so the second week of January, literally wiped out all of that because you earned your rank bonus? Think about these things. When you're sitting there and you are like, I don't want to do this, I just want to go to bed, like, great. But understand that there is somebody who is just as tired, if not even more. I always view as I might be going through something, but somebody else is going through it harder. And that person is showing up. Why can't I? Now, do I know that person? No. But you don't have to know the person to know in your mind that there's always somebody who's going through either what you're going through or 10 times harder, and they're showing up. Don't ghost yourself. Don't ghost your business. Show up for you, show up for your family, because we have 6 weeks left in this year, basically. What are you going to make these 6 weeks out of? Are you going to create something amazing and strong and something that will sustain 2020? Or are you going to make something where 2020, it's going to be like the gym and you start January 1st and you're like, I'm gung-ho. And then February 1st and you're like, well, I know, I'm done. Are you going to be the 1 or are you going to be the 9? Go for it, Britt.
Honestly, I think that's like everything. I think it's like everything that everyone needed to hear. Because there's nothing more than except for really reflecting and looking yourself in the mirror on how you want to end the last few weeks of this year. So I think we're good. I appreciate you guys and love you all. And I hope that you guys just have a beautiful night and just really let this sink in for you all, okay? Good night.
Good night, loves.